Welcome back to another episode of the podcast for love. And before we get started, before I tell you about the topic that I have prepared for you today, let us start with a beautiful and quick meditation. I ask and invite you to close your eyes, if that is possible. If you're driving your car, please don't close your eyes. Use some common sense here. But if you're in a safe space, and if you feel like it, I invite you to close your eyes and just start to observe your breath. Don't try to change anything. Don't try to force. Don't try to deepen. Just observe. Check in with your breath. Maybe it's been a while. Maybe it's been a long time. And your breath is so excited for you to check in again. Can you feel it? Wonderful. Keep your eyes closed for just a second and bear with me. I want you to focus on this voice in your ear, on my voice. Just listen to me while you are accompanying your breath. And take a second to arrive. You can also take a minute or even an hour. But to arrive in this present moment, all that is required of you is your will, your focus. You want to arrive right here, right now, with me. Then slowly start to deepen your breath. Take long inhales and exhales through your open mouth. If you feel like it, stick out your tongue when you exhale. It's called the lion's breath. You can really go. Do a few of these, even if you're in your car, even if you're outside. What if people are gonna look at you? So what? Who cares? Allow yourself to release all that no longer serves you with these exhales. Exhale your limiting beliefs. Exhale your worries. Exhale your stress, your rage. Everything that is no longer serving you in this present moment where we arrived, let it go. Don't force it, but just allow it to leave as naturally as the air leaves your body when you exhale. Because even the air you exhale is no longer serving you. That's why you make space for new, fresh air. If you are still here and if you stick through the meditation, I invite you to open your eyes again and look at your hands. Maybe you want to rub them, turn them around, and just perceive your hands and then the room and everything around you. I have this beautiful, beautiful salt lamp right next to me. My bed sheets are yellow. I sit on a different chair because I decided it's more important that my chair is comfortable. Who cares if I sit on a Louis Vuitton chair? Who cares if I sit on a chair like this? Who cares if I hold a cooking stuff? Who cares? What you truly care about and why you stayed is because we resonated. Because you felt like, oh, I really like this podcast where he starts with a meditation. And I don't want to keep you waiting any longer. What are we talking about today? Me and my heart prepared a beautiful topic. You want to tell them, Hardy? Yeah? Yeah, you want to tell them? Today we're going to speak about a topic. And this topic is called Why There Was Never Something Wrong with You. We will also cover the question of how can we keep on going when it feels like we have nothing left. So, thank you for tuning in with me. Thank you for starting with this little meditation. And thank you, dear listener. And maybe you're even watching because I record this. Thank you for just staying and being with me right now. And if you're still listening, then I believe that you are a person, a wonderful human being who is just sure that there is more. You know that there is more out there. You have this feeling, this urging inside of you. You were never quite able to maybe explain or understand where it comes from or why it's there, but you just knew. It felt maybe like hunger. Hunger for more, because you knew there was more love, more joy, more rage, more everything. You believed and you knew that there are deeper levels of emotions, deeper and more strong levels of intuition. You just know that there is more for you to uncover than what whoever has told you has told you. Maybe it was your parents, maybe it was your friends, maybe it was your teacher, maybe it was the government, the media, even social media, your favorite influencer when you were a kid. No matter who told you. But these people started building this box around me, right? I tried to constantly keep harmony, keep peace, keep this illusion of a happy and smooth world around me. I tried to keep everyone else happy. I tried to satisfy everybody else. But what for? At what cost? Every time I soothed the outside, I abandoned something deep inside of me. I abandoned my heart. I abandoned my intuition. I abandoned my connection to the divine. And the more I abandoned these things, the louder my mind got, the more chaotic everything became inside of me. And it started to feel like I was at a war with myself. And maybe you're listening right now because you feel like you're at war with yourself. So, what is my advice to you if this is the first time that you ever realized that you are at war with yourself? That it feels like you're in a battle with your own mind. Stillness is not bringing you peace, it's bringing you confusion. It's bringing up anxiety and fears. And this little voice up here is getting louder and louder, and it's not just one voice, it's maybe 100 voices that scream at you. Well, my first thing that I have to tell you is that I am proud of you for keeping on and surviving, for just you kept on going, right? You're still here. You're listening to me right now. And there's another thing that you can be proud of and that you can be satisfied and happy. You now see that. You see that you are at war. You see that there is something that you want to change. You see it. You understand it. Well, maybe you don't understand it yet, but you see it, right? And if you see it, that's the first step. How should I be able to drink from this bottle if I tell myself and lie to myself about how it really is? I can tell myself this bottle is open for as long as I want. But if I don't see that it's closed, I will never be able to drink from it. And we both know it's not about the bottle that I'm talking. I'm not talking about this bottle with the lid on it. I'm talking about the lies we feed ourselves. And I'm talking about lies I fed myself. How I told myself that I was happy with the life I had, that I was satisfied. I started telling myself a story of, oh, but you know, other people have it way worse, and you have it so good, and you have it so nice. You cannot be dissatisfied with this life. You just be thankful, praise, and what? Yes, I agree. There are 100% people that are worse off than you are. But darling, there are people that are better off than you are. There are people with such little intelligence, such little potential, such little whatever it is, that are doing way better than you. Way better. And why? Because they are doing, because they are executing. And it's not just that they're better than you, they're better than me, they're further than me. I see people with half my potential and half my wisdom, if we're in comparison at all. But I see people out there, and I know I am capable of doing what they are doing, at least as good as they do it. At least. I'm absolutely capable. But still, they are in a place where I am not. And I have to acknowledge that. I sit on my camping chair, which I also sit on at festivals. And I love it. But it's not the chair I really want to sit on to do my podcast. It's not the end chair, my final vision of how I want to be recording this. I'm also not holding the microphone I really want to hold in my hand. I'm not recording it with the camera, and I kept the ring light off because I was so fed up by that reflection of the ring light either in my glasses or if I take off my glasses, it reflects in my eyes. And I didn't want that. So I figured I'd rather have this soft, warm lighting now. And it looks a bit different. It doesn't look perfect. Well, it's not about doing it perfect. My darling, that's what is stopping me the most. Wanting to do something the right way. And I will share something with you that my beloved and amazing yoga teacher Pedro taught me. So he stated, and if this truly clicks, it changes a lot for you. So there is no right or wrong thing that you can do. There is a right or wrong state that you can do it in. What does that mean? It's not about whether I do this podcast right in a studio and in all the ways I want, or wrong, essentially, the way I do it now, from my own perception. It's about the state that I am in. I can be in a state of judgment, of hate, of self-criticism, and I can block myself with that. I did. That's why you have been waiting for so long for another episode. I don't know, maybe it's been 3 months, 2 months, whatever, right? Or I can be in a different state. I can be in a state of wanting to create because something inside me is burning to express this, is burning to share this with you. I really, really, really want to bring my voice out. And I really want to share my story and my experience. Because I know someone out there is waiting for it. That's why I burn. That's why I have this desire. That's why my heart desires to share. But as long as my judgment and my mind, and I allowed it, my mind and my judgment to come in between and to change my state, I will not put out. And if there is truly a wrong thing to do, then it's not doing what you really want to do. Did you hear that? If there is truly a wrong thing to do, then it's not doing what you really want to do. Imagine if Mozart never created music, if he never wrote his beautiful pieces that the whole world knows now. Imagine if Leonardo da Vinci never painted Mona Lisa. Imagine that you are going to die tomorrow. I am going to die tomorrow now. And I didn't really do what I want. And then we come up to God. We look at him. He looks at us. And he really asks us, why did you wait? What did you wait for? Why did you believe that there was time? I really wanted you to put this out for the world, That's why I planted this seed, this idea inside of your mind, inside of your heart. That's why I gave you this vision. But you, my dear Jacques, you were so caught up by what everybody else was thinking. You were so worried by the judgment of your old friends that, truly, if I'm honest with you, you would have never taken their advice. So why are you scared of their judgment, dear Jacques? Tell me, what held you back? Why did you not want to share and create this thing for the world? And I twisted the story in the middle to me. But I believe you see yourself in that story. You can plant yourself in there. Why did you not create? Why did you not bring the service that you have to offer out to the world? Imagine you're in the middle of a desert and you have water to sell. Right? Like everybody needs water in the desert. And then there comes along someone and he just doesn't know he's thirsty. He doesn't know he's thirsty until he sees you. Because you have the water. You stand there, you be like, I have the best water for everybody who's thirsty. And all of a sudden, this person takes a moment and stops. And as the person stops and looks up and looks at you, that person realizes, I'm really thirsty. Thank God you're here in the middle of this desert to give me water. How much? Like, I don't even care. I really need this water. Just give it to me, please. So it's about finding your desert, right? Figuring out what you have to offer to this world. Heck, if you're here to create jewelry, do you know how many people are waiting to wear the jewelry that you created? Because the way you create rings, the way you create necklaces, the way you create anklets, wristlets, whatever, right? The way you create this, nobody else is gonna create that way. Nobody else is gonna work in details the way you work. And there are people out there that are going to resonate with specifically your design, with specifically your idea. Maybe there's even people out there that want their wedding rings created by you. Now, it would be a shame if those people, if that couple, if that freshly engaged couple is not getting the ring of their dreams just because you were scared, just because you tried to play it safe or get the perfect start. Man, that's selfish. That is selfish. Do you hear me? Jacques, that is selfish. When you stop putting out what the world wants, what your heart wants, when you stop and avoid to follow your calling, you're being selfish. And why is that? Why is that? Why are we selfish if we are not following our calling, our purpose? Because when we are not stepping up into our light, when we are not coming into our power, when we are not presenting ourselves to the world in the ways that we really, really feel like we should, then there are people that really, really need us, that really, really want to work with us, that really, really just need to hear these words in my case. Just the people that need to listen to my podcast in order to understand something in a way that they have never understood it before. These people can never hear it. These people won't be able to know what they're missing, but something is missing because of my own fear of judgment, because I try to play it safe, because I want to wait until I have a perfect studio at home with a wonderful microphone and so on. Because I want to wait until I can record in a room where I don't hear my own echo. Wait. I'm so glad that I sit here again. I'm so glad that I share exactly these words with you. That I allow my heart to just speak with us. That I allow myself to become this bridge, right? Because when I sit here, when I have these podcasts, I I just it flows through me. I'm not choosing what I want. I'm not choosing what I talk about. I just share what is relevant, what is necessary in this moment, what I feel that wants to be said. Because I need to hear it. And because I know that you need to hear it. Because if you wouldn't have to hear this, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't listen to me. You just would leave. And if you're right now thinking, what even is Jacques talking about? What's all of this about? Like, huh? I don't understand this guy. Who? Then I invite you. I invite you to leave. Go listen to another podcast. Go take a walk in the forest and listen to the birds. Go sing your favorite song. I don't care. But don't spend your time right here with me if it's not really what you want to do right now. If you feel like there's something better for you to do with your time, then go do that. You're free to choose whatever you want, right? That's the blessing of this life. We have free will. We have free will, but I actually talked about this with a friend of mine. Do we really have free will? Because I had free will, I could choose to run away from all of this. I was able to choose to smoke weed and to distract myself with parties and with raves on the weekends and with other people who gave me some attention and some appreciation, but just a little bit. I could distract myself with playing a bit of piano and doing a new sport like learning some kickbox just to satisfy mom, to get some approval again. I was able to go down that path. But let me tell you, it consumed me. I was doing barely anything at all. And I just felt like I was losing energy day by day. Once I finished smoking my joint, I just wanted to light a new one. I didn't smoke weed to get high. I smoked weed because I really wanted to smoke a joint. And I really wanted to smoke a joint because when I held the joint in my hand, I was distracted from everything else. All I was able to focus on in that moment and all I could focus on in that moment is that joint. I could relax a bit. I could feel at ease even though it's not where I want to be. And I didn't have to think that much about that I really abandoned myself with every puff. And let me tell you, I know I talked about this before, but have you been smacked by the universe? Like, I'm gonna tell you a story of how I have been smacked by the universe. Because our beautiful guides God, our spirit guides, angels, the universe, life, whatever you want to call it, it's all one and the same because in truth there is no separation, right? It's all one. I ask my guides and I ask them, well, are you God? Yes, they are. They are God. They are an expression of the infinite divine consciousness, the infinite divine creator, our source, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, universe, I don't care. And it speaks to us. It speaks to us into our lives. It tries to gently guide us left or right. And for me, they gently try to guide me away from the weed. I wanted to light a joint. All of a sudden, my lighter was empty. All right, the lighter is empty. I'm gonna get a different one. I get another lighter, and not too long, not too much time passes, and I lose that lighter, or I break a lighter. But I just kept on having struggle to actually light the joint. Then I got some matches because I didn't have any lighters anymore. And one match after the other broke, right? And I need maybe 5 matches until I have one flame and then the flame extinguishes before I could light my joint. So and I finally can light it, right? But this keeps reoccurring. I buy a new lighter, it breaks right away. I lose the lighter. I go out with friends, I forget the weed. They forget the weed. Or I go to a friend and he always had so much weed to smoke. And all of a sudden, he just doesn't have any weed with him that time, that day. And it just keeps on going and going like that. And that was the universe, right? That was God. That was my spirit guides, my angels, asking me, are you really sure you want to keep this up? Are you really sure this is the right thing? Because, you asked us, and we really think you shouldn't do this. So they gently try to tell you, to tell me. But I didn't listen. I go, no, I can buy a new lighter. I can find this. I can find that. Boom, bam, bim. I keep on going. I stay in this rhythm. I stay avoiding. I stay running from myself. I stay running from my purpose. I stay running from my light. I try to hide myself from it in the darkest corner possible. So I keep on doing it. And then a festival comes up, Burning Mountain, in Sonnets, and I choose, oh, I'm gonna buy like 25 grams or whatever, 30 grams of wheat. I've never done it. I've never bought that much wheat at once in my life. But I figured, you know what? Last festival, I didn't have enough wheat. I'm gonna take even more this year. Why? Like, where did it come from? I don't know. I bought myself drugs, MDMA before. I organized mushrooms. Way more than I could ever eat myself during the festival. Like, I overdid it to the max. I took way too much drugs with me. Even though it wasn't even aligned with who I really was anymore. When I started to go out dancing, when I started to go to my first rave, I was not consuming anything at all. And I just felt this need to adapt myself to the people around me, to finally be accepted, to finally feel like I'm part of them. But no matter what I did, I never felt like I was a part of the people I was with. Never felt like I belonged there. And I'm gonna go into that topic in a while, in a minute. But back to the festival. I sit into this camper that my parents rented for me. For my birthday, they gave me such a beautiful gift, a camper that I could sleep in while I was at this festival. Because having your own camper is just way nicer, way more comfortable than being there in a tent and being right at the festival area and having all this loud boom, boom, boom when you try to sleep, right? And I loved it. I was so happy, so amazed by this old VW T3 yellow true hippie bus. I sit in there, knock, knock, beep, 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 having fun, driving over the mountains, like second gear, pushing the pedal to the floor, and you go like, and you have maybe, I don't know, maximum 40 kilometers an hour, right? And if you go to your switch to your third gear, it gets slower because it's just too steep for it. So back to the second. And I was having so much fun. And as I reach, like, literally, I don't know, 200 meters in front of the medicinal centrum where I had to go because I had my acupuncture that I was going to do with my Chinese doctor in St. Moritz. And before I get there, like 200 meters before I get there, there's a police control. And I'm in front of a caravan, front of a row of cars, right? And they look at me. I put it in like the fourth gear on purpose so I'm not as loud with my old T3. They look at me, just one look, they get me out, right? I'm like, shit. I didn't even go to the festival yet. And they already take me out, like, Whew, okay. I roll down the window. I look out at the guy. And he asks for my license and driver's license and everything so on. I give it all to him. Then one of my first questions is like, is it normal that I'm this nervous? And the guy goes, well, if it's your first time in a control, then yes. And I'm like, yeah, okay, it's my first time in a control. I didn't tell him that it's my first time in a control with a lot of substance, right? So I just pray. I pray they don't have a dog. I pray that this all works out. And it worked. They checked through my bags, they checked a bit through the camper, but they allowed me to show them everything. They didn't go through it by themselves. So I was very, very lucky, very, very blessed. And as they put me back in the car, because I told them I really have this appointment in 15 minutes, I really got to get there. It's like right over there. So I just want to be at that appointment in time, right? That's why I drove up. That's why I rushed. So if I miss it because of you guys, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be pissed, right? So they sent me on. And my leg, as I put down the clutch, my leg was shaking so bad you can't even imagine. It goes, I was like, oh my God, let's get this slow. I was like trying maybe 5 times to get the car running again. And oh my God, it was, but nothing happened. I got there, I got acupuncture. After I was so tensed up, right? I relaxed so much. Like acupuncture, make sure you get a really good acupuncture, a really good Chinese doctor, because you can make so many things wrong. Like you don't just have to put the needle in the right place. It depends on how you spin the needle and which grip you have. And it's so complex. But if it's done correctly, it's incredibly powerful. Really, like incredibly powerful. It can change your whole life. It changed my whole life. It activated me again. It turned me on after my burnout. I was 8 months of just, I don't know, I don't feel so energized. And nobody really knew what was wrong with me. And this doctor looks at me and he's like, oh yeah, your 5 hearts are overactive and this and that. Oh, and I see you have too much pressure on your heart and your lungs are not active, and your liver is pushed up, and you have this toxic fire, and blah, 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 blah. Right? And then he puts the needles, and I'm just, and 30 minutes later, they take it out, and I'm feeling amazing. And then I go back 2 weeks later, I go, of course, you need a couple of sessions to truly have an effect. But I wanted to go back there. Like, I didn't care. I have a 3-hour drive to get to him. So, anyway, back to the point. I had the acupuncture. I get back into my car. I look at the kilometer count, and it was exactly 222 kilometers, point two, like 2222 kilometer count. And I'm like, wow, thank you so much, beloved angels, my beloved Grisha, thank you for protecting me, right? And I ride back the car, I drive it back home to my parents. I get everything ready for the festival, and I drive to the festival, everything went great. I was able to park my car there, set up my camper tent, like have my neighbors help me, made some beautiful connections, and so on, blah, blah, blah. But that was the universe asking me again, are you really sure you want to keep on doing what you're doing? Are you sure this is the right decision? Are you sure you're supposed to smoke weed before you get in your car? You know, like, are you sure this is the right thing? But of course I didn't listen. Of course I didn't listen. I wanted to go left. I know they told me to go right, but I really wanted to go left. Like I didn't want to see what is there on the right side. I was just too scared to face it. To face the fact that I was the only person who held myself back. That I was who is limiting myself. That I'm still my number one enemy. I mean, I finally made my mind a place I want to be, I want to live in. I finally made my mind a place of peace. I didn't want to accept that I also was responsible for my own suffering. Like, who wants to do that, right? So I keep on doing, I keep on living. I had an amazing, extremely transformative and rebirthing breath work session at the festival. It was, oh, you can't even imagine. For the first time, I felt like I was fully aligned. Like before, my mind wanted something, my heart wanted something else, my eyes saw that girl, my mouth wanted to speak something, my mind was somewhere else, and then my feet wanted to walk in in a different direction. And I'm like, what is even going on, right? And after that breath session, it felt like everything, like for the first time, was communicating with each other and was truly in alignment. And that was, it still is beautiful. And that really taught me in that moment, a flick went on. Like, I don't need anything outside of my body. I don't need a substance to help me understand, to help me grow, to help me whatever. I really don't need a substance. I have my breath. I can use my breath. That's beautiful. That's all I need. Maybe I can drink some cacao. And then I'm in a completely different sphere if I combine that with my breath and with alignment and with presence and with purity. But yeah, of course, I didn't want to listen. Even there, after that, I just kept on smoking my weed because I bought it already, right? If I already bought it, why should I not use it? But something inside me just told me, this is not what you want. You don't need this. This is not who you are anymore. It's not who you want to be. It's never who you were. It's who you thought you should be. It's this kind of socially accepted version that you created of yourself. Martha Beck calls this the social self and the essential self. The essential self is your core, your truth, your authenticity. And the social self is a version that you created in order to be liked, because you want to be liked by everybody. Right? You want to be accepted. You want to be part of this group. Don't want to be pushed out and be left alone. That would be horrible. But let me ask you one question. Is it worth being surrounded with people who like a version of you who is fake? Like, really? Do you want to have people around you that like you for who you are not? Do you want to have people surrounding you who like your mask, who like your fake, who like your perfectly curated and patched together? Or do you want people who want the real you, who identify and resonate with your truth, even though it might hurt, even though it might be uncomfortable? But do you want to be with people that want to see you grow and expand and become someone that they have never known? Do you want to be with people that are wanting you to become unrecognizable? Or do you want to be with people who are just, yeah, you know, you don't have to change. You're fine the way you are. Everything is all right. Buttershine and sunshine, butterflies and flies, whatever. It's okay. Unicorns, rainbows, all love and light. We're all together here. We're all happy. That's fucking bullshit. And someone has to tell you. And it was me in this moment. Someone had to tell me, like, I had to wake up to this. I knew all of this. I heard it before, but I still did it. I still lived in a, oh, love and light, everything is all right. I don't want to change myself because I don't want to do the work because the work is really annoying and I don't want to look at myself. I am scared of the truth, you know? And if you catch yourself, if this feels uncomfortable to listen to, ooh, let me tell you, there is a couple of steps that you can take if you want. You can become, you can create, you can let go. And I'm gonna share a little quote with you that I love, because I really haven't been feeling like myself lately. Right? And then the quote goes, well, I'm not feeling like myself lately. I must be growing. Right? Because what is growth? Growth is essentially becoming something or someone who you never were before. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, right? That's sweet. Becoming someone you have never been before. That's growth. Or reconnecting with who you always were before you started abandoning yourself. Because when you were born, you had it all. There was nothing wrong with you. But I really want to get back to the story because we're not done. We're not done. It gets even better, all right? So I decided that I have to keep on taking the drugs that I already bought and keep on smoking the weed and so on. And then I decided to, instead of drive to my parents right away on Sunday, the way I thought of doing it, or my dad even asked me if he could come and get me. Right? Like he offered to come and get me and drive me back home. It's like a 40-minute drive with the car. But he offered to come and take me. So it would all be safe and legal, kind of, you know? Like, but I was too arrogant. I had my nose up there and I was like, no, I don't need any help from you, Dad. No, not at all. I got this. I manage it. I mean, I didn't tell him, but I drove before. Like, I know how to drive, even under the influence, right? As long as I can walk, I can drive, kind of. You know, that mentality. Very fucking dangerous. Who? You're endangering not only yourself, but everybody who's driving with you and everybody else on the street. Imagine you're not seeing a pedestrian walk crossing the street and you just run them over. That person is dead for life. And you're gonna be haunted forever. because of a stupid decision like that. Man, woman, wake up. And life, universe, I'm so grateful they did that. I'm so grateful they smacked me like that. So I decided to sleep another night on the camping ground. And then the next morning, still tired, still not fully clean. And of course, in the morning, we had to smoke a joint. And then we pack down everything, get everything ready, and start moving. Well, more like I. He wasn't really helping. Yeah, I'm too tired. I don't feel like. What the fuck? You just slept inside of the car. I offered you a bed, and you don't want to help me pack everything? The fuck? But that's another story. That's another story. Anyway, we're in the car. We get to the gas station. We fill it up, or I fill it up, and then I start driving, and I drive over the pass, again over the mountains. And as I was able to leave the town, I'm like, yes, 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 no control, no police, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. And I go over the mountain. I have so much joy, so much fun. Oh, look at this beautiful view, look at these mountains, look at everything. We get over the top of the pass. I don't know what pass is in English, to be honest. It's like when you have these mountain crossings with the car. In German, it's a pass. I don't know. English is whatever. But I'm driving this curvy mountain road. We get over it. We go down on the other side. I drive back down, down, down. All of a sudden, I'm like, fuck. There's a police car. Oh shit. Oh shit. There's a police car. And they were not controlling anyone. And I was in front of another column. Like, I'm the first car of a bunch of cars. Again, in my VW T3 hippie bus. Like, oof. And of course, the police knew there was this festival not too far away. Oh my god. Oh my god. So I look at them, I smile, boom, they take me out, of course. Again, I roll down the window. He looks at me. License and yes, you know what I'm trying to say. Registration and license and this, that. I give it to him. He looks at it. He looks at me. Ah, the car is rented, or like something like that. And I'm like, yes, yes, the car is rented. Have you been at this music festival? Little me thinking I'm smart as shit. Nah, no, I have not been at the music festival. I have my parents up in the Engadine, but no, I've not been at that festival. I just look like it, and I'm still wearing the wristband. I'm still wearing the wristband on the hand that I gave you my license with. That I need to enter the festival. But I didn't go. No, no, no. I didn't go to the festival. Of course not. Well, you can imagine how that turned out, right? He didn't see the wristband, or he didn't mention that. But he then, of course, wanted to look inside the car. And of course, I'm going to show you the car. I mean, there's nothing for you to find in there. Because we were smart and threw everything away before we leave. No, no, we had to take everything that was left with us, right? So they open up, and it's not like before. I'm not looking by myself. I'm not showing them everything. No, 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 no. This time he's putting on his little gloves. He's telling us both to wait on the side. And he starts to go through it. And like on top, there's this little thing that I had to put inside the car where I wrote down the car number, my phone number, and of course, it's designed in Burning Mountain 2025. He grabs that, he shows me, and he's like, "Are you sure you were not at the festival?" And I'm like, fuck. Like, how stupid could I be? Like, what was I thinking? So, yeah, I was like, nah, this is a bad habit of me, you know, I lie, blah, blah, blah. But of course, from this point onward, I was like, he knew he was onto something. So he keeps on searching and searching and searching, and then he found this little pocket thing, like this little pocket bag. I don't know in English. You just strap it around your hips, and you have this little bag, right? So in there, of course, there was like some remains of like a bag with weed inside. There was remains of a bag with MDMA and all that stuff, right? And I'm like, fuck. How stupid of me to keep that right there. So he holds it up and he asks, well, who's this? Like, who owns this? I go up, it's mine. And then he looks at me like, is there anything else that you have to give us in this car? And I'm like, no, there's nothing. And then he looks at me, well, then we have to bring a dog. And I look at him, well, then bring your dog. Come on, bring it up. And he's like, well, the dog is not here. It takes an hour for us to get the dog. And I'm like, fuck. Because I really thought that the dog won't smell anything because it's in my vacuum. I talked about it with another person then later, and I understood that dog is gonna find shit. If you were like, there's no way the dog is not finding at least something. Okay. Anyway, as the dog was not there, he just kept on searching. He kept on searching and searching, and I just realized in that second, there's no way. Why am I fighting them? Like, what am I trying to prove? Like, what am I trying to hold up for? For what? For what? They're gonna find it anyway. Eventually. So I get up and I'm like, I'm gonna give it to you. I go get my weed, I go get that thing, I give it to them. They were happy, took my license, of course, closed the car, put away the car on that mountain parking there, took me and my friend into their car, bring me to the hospital, dropped off the friend at the train station, and so on. And for me, that second, I released resistance, right? I was resisting, I was in tension, I was fighting them. The second the illusion shattered, the second I let go and I accepted and surrendered to this situation that I got myself in, everything changed. I started to cry. I started to tear up. I started to remember after my friend left, I was actually feeling safe to cry. So from that moment on, I was actually crying and remembering why I started to smoke weed. I tried to run away from the situation I had there with the teacher. The teacher was not treating me fair. I was not feeling like as a part of the class. I was not feeling accepted at all. And I just tried to hide and run from it. And I learned, oh, if I get some weed, if I buy some weed, then I can be part of this group who's still treating me like shit and still is disrespecting me and having fun playing around with me and kind of manipulating me and having me run after them because they never invite me. I just know where they are and they can get some money from me because I buy weed, right? Yeah. All the memories came up, all of that, and I'm crying and releasing. And to be fair, there's these two police officers sitting in front of the car while I'm just crying and pouring my heart out. Like they were not police officers anymore. They were therapists. I don't know. I don't know if they really liked the whole experience with me. Maybe they regretted it at that point. But we go to the hospital. I give them my blood. I give them a urine probe. Blah 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 blah. Everything. And then we go back to the police station. And as we come to the police station, I tell them, you know, now you feel like you're my dads. Now it feels really nice to be with you. And I was starting to really enjoy this whole situation I was in. And what I also knew in that moment, like, left, if I walk left, That's what happens? Fuck! I don't want that. I don't want that ever again. Why did I even think that left? It's okay. It's okay. We observe, but we don't judge, right? We have faith. We learn. We integrate the lessons that we learned. And this was my lesson I needed. They tried to tell me. They tried to tell me when they took my lighter. They tried to tell me when they broke another one. They tried to tell me when they did a checkup on me, but they were not taking anything from me. Well, I needed that smack. Ba-bum. I needed it. But guess what? I don't smoke. I don't drink. I'm not eating. I didn't replace it with sugar or anything else like I did before. Because when I was a kid, I was eating so much sugar until I started using nicotine. And after nicotine, the weed, it was always a substance. One substance remained, even if it was coffee for a certain period of time. And I was drinking like 5 espressos a day, whatever it was. I kept something. But that second, the second I surrendered to the police, the second I gave in, something flipped a switch inside of me. And I knew I never want to go back to this situation. Mom is worried. Dad is not happy with me. My brother is looking at me all funny and I lose connection to him. I am surrounded by people who I don't even want to be with. I'm in the wrong place. I'm not growing. I'm not doing what I really want. I'm abandoning myself every day. Like, fuck, what am I even doing with my life? I'm tired of it. I want to go into the different direction. I want to change. I want to walk right. I want to have faith. I don't know what happens if I go right. I never went right. I always went left. I don't know what fucking happens when I go right, okay? I'm scared. I'm scared. But it's okay to be scared, baby boy. You know, it's like, just try. Take a step, take that leap of faith. And I love the quote, are you more scared of the jump or are you more scared to have never tried at all? Because to be honest, I'm more scared to have never tried. That thought horrifies me. Never even trying. Living a safe but a stagnant life. Living a comfortable and socially accepted version of yourself. Feeling safe, feeling accepted, but abandoning yourself, your truth, your purpose. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I'm tired of for me, that flipped the switch. But when I sat in this yoga teacher retreat like 2 weeks later, I asked myself, like, why? Why does it always have to kind of explode? Why does it have to be this intense before I change something? Like, why does my foot have to hurt before I start choosing barefoot feet? Why do I have to be overweight before I realize that I should change my diet? You know, like all these things. Why does it have to be that bad before we change something? And the reason why it has to be that bad, that intense, that hard is because we, or I don't know about you, maybe you resonate with this, but I was disconnected from my heart and my feeling and my truth and my core. I was disconnected from the trust and faith in that my heart will guide me. I knew my heart told me I should stop smoking, but I didn't trust it. I didn't want to listen to my heart because my mind, my beautiful and beloved mind, gave me a perfectly logical reason to keep on going and keep on living the way I live. And I don't have to change anything, just be the way you are, and it's okay, it's safe. You know this, I know this is comfortable, this is easy. We have like neuroplasticity, this is the easy way, this is the thing we always did. That's why we keep on doing it. It costs us less energy. I just want you to survive. I just want you to survive. That's what your mind does. It tries to keep you safe. Safe and stagnant. Because your mind doesn't like doing something it has never done before. It's scared to try something new. And why? Well, there's a simple reason. Really simple reason. Because look at a caveman. You try some new berries and they're so sweet, so delicious. You're like, oh, I love these berries. Oh, they're so good. And then you show them your friend, and both of you are like, oh, look at these berries. They're so good. And then your friend sees a different berry and he's like, oh, look at this different berry. I'm going to try it. And your friend takes that different berry and he just drops that. You're like, holy shit, I'm never trying another berry again. I'm just eating this one because I know this berry is sweet. I know it's sweet, but I don't want to eat any other berries because that berry my friend just knocked over. Drop that, boom, perfect, good night. I'm not going to try anything new. It's what your mind has evolved. Your mind has evolved to keep you safe, to help you survive. But the way our whole system, the way this whole earth changed, it changed so quick that our brains didn't have time to adapt. So we still have a caveman operating brain in an absolutely non-caveman world. Like, we're more disconnected from our roots and from nature and everything than ever. If you want a podcast about the disconnection from our roots, please let me know. I would love to speak about that in the next episode, or maybe I just speak about this in the next episode, who knows. But I also want to hear from you, right? Do you like these topics? Do you have another wish? If you have like a specific mini part that I go into, but I didn't really dive deep, let me know. I can dive deep into pretty much anything, and I can create pictures and stories from the top of my head. I love this. I live for this. I breathe this. I did this my whole life. I just try to tell myself that, I don't know, I shouldn't. And I try to speak in a way that is controlled and that is not hurting anyone and that is making no I just speak truth now. I just speak from heart and I share. So if you want a deep dive on any topic, maybe LGBTQ and whatever it is, whatever you want to hear, let me know. Fast forward, we're 16 days after the police stopped me, and I'm fully clean. I stopped smoking weed that day. I smoked cigarettes for another 3 days. And then I got tired of smoking cigarettes as well. So I quit. And I'm not saying it was easy. I'm not saying it's easy to quit a substance when you're smoked like 8 joints a day before. No, no. I'm not saying that's easy. But was it worth it? Fucking absolutely! Mwah! Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. The clarity I have now. The presence. The feelings. The courage to also just whoop. The courage to step up and record something like this. Anything, everything. I love that I'm back. It really feels like I'm back. We're back, baby. Woo-hoo. You know? So, also. Maybe you want a podcast about quitting substances. You want to deep dive on that. Whatever it is, let me know. Let me know. So, so I really want to dive into how I started recording again, why I'm here. Like, because it's been 2 weeks since I stopped, right? Like, I knew I wanted to record the podcast again. I had everything set up pretty much ready in the room here. Like, I'm not even working right now. I'm still in my post burnout, I can phase, you know? And it's okay because I'm reorganizing. I'm standing at the beginning of my life. I always thought I was at a crossroads right now. No, no, no. I'm standing at the very beginning. My season is starting here. I'm putting myself out into the world for the very first time. Again. Like, I step into my power again after abandoning it. I share my truth and my light unhinged again. I'm unapologetically me. Again. I come back to it. Woo. So why was I not recording the podcast, even though I knew it's really what I want to do? I distracted myself. Oh, I really want to play some piano. I'm going to play some piano. I improvise on the piano and I sing and I la 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 la. And I improvise this beautiful song and I'm happy with it. Wonderful. A little bit of joy, a little bit of pleasure. I did some push-ups. I did some of this. I did some tarot reading. I just kept on distracting myself with these little bits and bites of joy, of happiness, to make sure I'm not coming here, to make sure I'm not starting to record. And maybe I had maybe I could record. No, but now the construction workers are working, so it's too loud. I cannot record now. No, now it's too late. I cannot start recording an episode because I really have to sleep, you know? Like, I have to sleep. I don't have to get up tomorrow at a specific time, so I can choose when I want to go to sleep. And I always liked being up late at night. But at some point, I started to believe that because my mom told me that we sleep better before midnight, I should start sleeping before midnight. Well, it works for her, but it doesn't mean it works for me. And I don't have to go to sleep at the time that my mom wants me to go to sleep anymore. I'm not even living with her anymore. Like, I live with my grandma. My grandma don't care. Like, what? You know? And I just, instead of listening to me, to my heart, I listened to what everybody else said and I tried to keep this perfect harmony around me, right? So guess what? I started recording this podcast episode at 11:30 p.m. at night. And before I started recording it, I distracted myself. I told myself all of a sudden, oh, I'm too tired. I'm too tired. I can't. I'm so tired. No, I should go to sleep now. I ate and I made beautiful dinner for myself and I prepared my breakfast for tomorrow and so on. Cooked my porridge, made everything ready. Now I should really go to sleep. Maybe I play some piano first. And I can also like I booked, of course, I had another camper booked to drive to Croatia and do another road trip down there. Well, without my license, it's gonna be really hard to use that camper. So I canceled that now. And I had some other thing. I booked a festival ticket for the Heal Play Love Festival here in Zurich in September 5th to 7th of September. Also, 7th of September is Blood Moon eclipse. So I figured, what? Amazing, I can dance into it. But again, I'm distracting you from the official topic. And I was distracting myself from that. I was, a bit of this, bit of that. Now I have the ticket, now I have the camper. Now I can go to sleep. I'm good for today, you know? But I really had this feeling that I should record the podcast, as I had on every other night, as I had on every other day. Because I'm running late. I wanted to create one on new moon and one for full moon, and then the next for new moon and the next for full moon, like every 2 weeks, 2 episodes. That's doable. Man, that's an episode a week. 1 hour of recording, maybe 1.5 hours of recording. And then edit is already in it with presets, so I just slap it in there, throw on the presets, listen to it quickly, boom, puff, beef, boom, upload, maybe write some caption, write some detailing, copy caption for YouTube, puff, there it is. Maybe 3 hours of work for one episode, maximum. And you need less and less time to create as you get better and better at creating, right? But of course, I like, perfectionism. Wanting to do it right and perfect. But instead, I was not able to see that I'm not doing anything at all. Because I wanted to do it right, I wasn't doing anything. So if I would have to judge if there is a wrong thing to do, if there even is a right and wrong thing to do, I know one thing for sure. The wrong thing to do is to do nothing. Like, that's the wrong thing to do. Because it's not getting you anywhere. You're not growing, you're not learning, you're not experiencing, you're just blocked. And if you're stagnant, if you're blocked, you're gonna become depressed. You're gonna become sad, you're gonna lose energy. My first beloved coach, Ramon, you know what he told me? Well, it's not my first coach, but my first spiritual coach. He told me that's literally paying death. In German, der Tod auf Raten. Death on like reoccurring payments. Like you pay a bit of your life each month like that. If you're living a life that you are not wanting to live, you're paying with your energy, with your life force, with your creativity, with your joy every month. And let me tell you, it's harder to get off the train. Wrong. Not wrong, but I want to restart it. It's harder to get back if you stay on the wrong train for longer. And now let me phrase it in the right way, because I tried to bring it from the German. The longer you're staying on the wrong train, the harder it will be to get back. When you understand that this train is going into the wrong direction, the first thing it is like seeing, understanding. The second thing is accepting. And then the third thing is letting go. And how can you let go? By getting off the train. Maybe wait for the next stop, maybe smash a window and jump out. I don't know what feels right. Listen to your heart. Maybe you have to smash the window and get out right the hell now. Maybe it's more safe to leave at the next station. But maybe the next station is, I don't know, prison? The next station is whatever. The next station is, you know where you're headed. You know what the consequences of your own actions are. So you need to choose, is this the right train? Am I on the right tracks? Or should I go do a full 180? And if you're ready to do a full 180, maybe you want to reach out to me. Maybe we should be working together. Maybe there's something that I have in the way that I hold space that no one else has. And you resonate with it. you feel like you really want to work with me. If you have that feeling, if you have a calling to work with me, hit me up on Instagram, intuition.to.go. Intuition to go. Or the other page would be jdashda.mit.jacques. But I really recommend, if you're listening to this English podcast, check out the page Intuition to Go on Instagram. It's my English page. I have one in English, one in Swiss German, because I just chose for myself. In my brain, I either speak to me in English or in Swiss German. So why not use these two languages to create and to share? Why not bring out a podcast in both languages? At first I thought, I just want one in German and I'm gonna do it in like the Hochdeutsch, like the German that they speak in Germany and in Austria, and not my mother tongue that I speak in Switzerland, because I felt like with Swiss German I'm not able to reach as many people, and it's not gonna be, I can't build community with Swiss German and blah 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 limitations. Anyway, English, I always spoke in English because, to be honest, when I spoke English, I felt like a badass. English is just a language. I just feel empowered when I speak English. I can't quite explain, but it always felt amazing to be speaking English. I really liked my voice when I spoke English. And you know what? Let me share this with you. I had, with that breath session, the breath session at the festival, that shamanic quantum breathing. When I came back into my body, I don't know where exactly I was, somewhere between this dimension and somewhere else. I came back, I realigned, I had a rebirth process. I cried like a little baby. I was in fetus position, everything that is beautiful, and I coughed and I was screaming so much. And my voice just left, right? Like I was barely able to speak. And as my voice started to come back, I understood, oh my sweet baby Jesus. I had another voice crack. I don't know how you call that in English. But when puberty hits a boy, his voice gets deeper. Well, let me tell you, my voice got even deeper. Like I had another and so much more vibrancy and more fullness and more power that I have in it now. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the way my voice sounds. I love to sing. I'm not listening to music anymore when I ride my bike. I'm singing. I'm singing free off the top of my head, whatever is right. And I'm not singing, yeah, I like. I go, rah, like, I'm so excited to see Liz again, my beloved vocal coach, Liz Howard. Huge shout out to that beautiful soul. Like, without her, I would never be where I am right now. Because the way she is able to see right through me and understand when my mind is trying to convince her of something. The way she was not giving me the confirmation when I was looking for it, but she taught me to give myself confirmation and check in with my heart, check in with my soul, check in with my truth. The way she asks twice when I was saying yes just to be accepted by her and not hurt her own feelings. The way she's just so in tune with the energy and the frequency in the room is, such a big inspiration for me. And yeah, we have one question to cover. How to keep on going when it feels like you have nothing left to give. And that's a hard question. That's a tough pill to swallow, to be honest, because it's not easy, right? It feels like everything is against us and everything is wrong, and it's so hard. And it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. What is this telling you? You don't want to do what you're doing in that moment. You cannot keep on going the way you are walking right now. Like, I picture this in a way for you. You're hiking and you're just hiking up the mountain, and you're having this backpack, this really heavy backpack, and it's pulling you back down the mountain, and you, oh my God, and it's just so hard, and you just keep on walking and walking and walking. And at some point you need to rest, right? So you put down the backpack, and it's so light finally. And you have some time to look around. And you look like around, and you see, as you look on your map, like, oh my God, I just walked up the wrong mountain. Like, I put up all of this energy, all of this life force, all of this. I put up in so much of me. I gave it all. And I walked up the wrong mountain. Now I need to carry this backpack down the mountain and up the other one. Like, I can't. I can't keep on going like this. No. But maybe it's just easier to be like, you know what? Maybe this is the right mountain. Maybe because I actually I feel like I'm on the top very soon. Maybe there's a better view. Maybe there's like the hotel or whatever. Like, I'm just gonna keep on climbing. You put on the backpack. You keep on walking. You keep on walking and walking and fighting your way up the mountain. All of a sudden, like, the backpack just gets too heavy. It pulls you down. You roll down the mountain like it looks like a huge avalanche, to be honest. Like, you're just creating all this dust and taking with you all of the trees because your backpack was full with rocks. So as you are rolling down this mountain faster and faster and faster and faster, the rocks are coming out of your backpack. And you start to realize, oh my God, no, I'm losing all these beautiful rocks. Like, they're normal rocks, but they're so special. I've been carrying them up this mountain for so long. I know it's the wrong mountain, and I know it's just regular rocks, but I love these rocks because I carried them, It's like, it's all I know. I only know these rocks. I don't have anything else. I just have my rocks. So you stop yourself at a tree, you grab it, you're like, oh! And you start to recollect the rocks and put them in the backpack. But all of a sudden, as you gather the rocks, you look at them and you're like, do I really need these rocks? Like, do I really have to take these rocks up a mountain? On top of a mountain, there's plenty of rocks. I just can get some new rocks when I'm up there. I don't need to carry them from the beginning. Like, if I really want the rocks, I can get them up. And maybe I don't want any rocks. Maybe I just want a crystal that I can find in a cave. I don't know. Maybe there's this huge amethyst waiting for you in that cave. Whatever it is, amethyst is a beautiful purple crystal, for those who don't know. Anyway, yeah, you're just looking at these rocks and you're contemplating and wondering, do I really need to keep on carrying these rocks? Because, to be honest, I can't. it's just too hard. I can't keep on going like this. I can't keep on carrying this backpack. It pulled me down. I nearly died. And now I'm supposed to like risk my life again for some shitty rocks? And actually, I even know that this is the wrong mountain. So what am I even doing on this mountain, you know? And in that moment, just a flip switches inside of you. And you leave the rocks. Maybe you take 3 of them in your backpack because you really, really like these 3 rocks. But most of them you leave. And with a lot backpack, which is now a lot lighter, you walk down the mountain all happy, and you can start your ascent on the right mountain. But you take your time. You take your time to enjoy the view every time you reach a bench. You take a little break. Your backpack is not as heavy. You also have some food in your backpack now and some water. So this whole ascent is a lot easier the second time. And you're not pushing and rushing. And as you take the first break, you pull out one of the rocks and you realize, well, this is a rock. I cannot eat it. I cannot drink it. Let me just leave this rock here. And you keep on walking until eventually you have no more rocks inside your backpack. You just have some food, some water, whatever else you may need and is really serving you. And you can walk up the right mountain. And remember this. The problem is not walking up the mountain slowly. The problem is walking up the wrong mountain. Like, that's the problem. Walking up the wrong mountain, that's what keeps you stuck. Because no matter how far you walk up, if you walk up the wrong mountain, you will have to get back down eventually. Because this is not your mountain to climb. This is not the view you're supposed to see. The view that God has prepared for you. And I know people don't like the word God, especially in the spiritual world. We want to call it universe, source, angels, spirit guides, whatever. I'm so far ahead of everybody else. I know everything better. Is God. Is one source. God is the creator. If you address God, it's powerful. Address God. If you have a resistance with the word God, meditate upon it. That's all I can tell you. Like, and if I triggered you, what? Leave this page. Leave Instagram. Leave social media. Go live in the woods. Like, if I can trigger you by saying the word God, then just leave. To be honest, like, go live in the forest. Do what you want. Or just unfollow me. That might be a good start. Because I'm just gonna speak upon the things that I really want. And God has a mountain for you with the most beautiful view. A view more beautiful than you can ever imagine. And your heart knows that we have that mountain. It knows that we have that view. That is what keeps you inspired. That is why you want to keep on going. But if I run around and I ask everybody, and I tell them, I have this beautiful view. I have this view. I see this. I see all of this. I'm gonna do this. This is what I really have to create. This is what I really have to do. Well, God gave this view for you. He planted that view into your heart for a reason. And other people cannot see the view that you have. Other people cannot see the vision that God gave and planted inside of you. The only way other people can see the vision that God has planted inside of you The only way that people can enjoy that view is if you actually get there, if you actually create it, if you actually step into it and create the space. If you open up, if you allow everybody to see and find you, regardless of what they're gonna think, regardless of if they're gonna be triggered or not, regardless of if it's gonna hurt them or not. But put yourself out there. Remember the story I talked about in the beginning of the jewelry maker? Think of the couple. Think of the freshly engaged couple who is looking for their dream wedding rings. And only you can make them. Because they really want you to make their dream wedding rings. Because no one designs rings in the way you design rings. Nobody speaks and podcasts and shares his experience the way I share my experience. Nobody channels the way I do. Nobody performs rituals the way I do. Nobody speaks to the ghosts and my Gracia and my granddads and my ancestors, and nobody does and lives the way I do. Nobody lives the way you do. That's the beauty of it, our individuality, while still being so powerless that everything could end tomorrow. I could go to sleep, and this podcast remains a video on my phone because I will never get to see tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know if I wake up tomorrow. I pray and I hope so. Like, I wish, I really want to put this out, right? I want to share it with the world. So maybe I should share it tonight. Maybe I should edit it tonight to make sure. You see where this goes? But before I started recording this podcast, remember, I look back to it. Before I started to record this podcast today, I was like, oh, I'm too tired. I don't have energy. I should go to sleep. I did enough for today. And as I sit down into this chair, as I grab this little microphone, and as I have my phone ready there, and I kept the ring light off because I don't want the reflection in my eyes. I can improve a bit. And I took a more comfortable chair because it's all about that comfort. Ooh, mwah. As I'm recording, like, I'm more energized, I'm more empowered, I'm more awake now than I have been all day. Like, I'm filled with energy, I'm filled with fire. And I'm so incredibly grateful that you stayed till the end. Thank you so much. I bow to you. I praise. Dear guides, my beloved Grisha, Jürg, Andy, Paolo, please, I pray that whoever listens to this, whoever found this episode shared from my heart to theirs, whoever listened till the end, whoever stayed, whoever even just listened a bit, may the words I speak guide them on. May my voice help them realize and help them understand new things about themselves. May my voice guide them back to their heart, back to their truth, back to whatever it is they want to do. May I become a bridge. May I become the missing link. May I become the missing puzzle piece that they needed to complete everything. May they find their way. May they find their peace. May they find their clarity. And I also want to take one moment of silence for all of the people who cannot choose peace themselves. because they are in conflict, because they are maybe in Gaza and Ukraine or in any other part of the world that is facing escalations and hate and bloodshed for no particular reason at all. May peace find all of my brothers and sisters on this earth. May they find food. May food find them. May their families be safe. And may they live and thrive. May they find the courage to dance through the hell that they are facing. May music and may our beloved sounds and frequencies unite all of us together. May music unite us. And may we all understand that we are brothers and sisters, that we all bleed blood, we all breathe air, our bodies all go back to the soil when we die. We all poop, we all pee, we all eat. May we understand that there is no difference when it comes to our bodies. May we understand that we are all one beautiful expression of divinity, reimagining itself over and over again as you in order to create this beautiful complexity and help each other. Help each other learn, help each other grow, help each other integrate lessons. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. I realized now as I came here, I didn't even speak upon why there was never something wrong with you. Like why you were never broken. So that's gonna be for the German episode. So if you speak German, hop over there. And if you feel like you really want me to speak about that in English as well, then let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know on Instagram, again, intuition to go. That's intuition.to, not to, to go. As I say it with a point, with a dot in between each word, you will find me there. My name is Jacques. I'm the messenger of the free spirit, and I am here to wake you all up. Shda, shda. Thank you for listening, and take care.